It's like my third time trying to record this. Slime slats to all my big niggas in the back. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your boy, that boy Sharon. Today, we back with another banger. Now, I kind of want to get right into this video, so I just want to say thank you for waiting. I know it's been a long time. If you're new here, or if you've been watching for a long time, do your boy a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. I know I appreciate it, and I know you appreciate this video. So let's get into this topic. All right, so in today's video, I want to talk about the process of refinement. Refinement, as described on Google, is the process of removing impurities or unwanted elements from a substance. Let's personalize this. Refinement is the process of becoming the person that you want to be. Peep the view. Sorry. So, in the term of refinement, it's not 5 steps. I say 3 steps with two other, you know what I'm saying, 2 other things to help you get through that process. So let's get into it. Now, with the process of refinement, you first got to acknowledge that you want to change, right? The life that you're living right now isn't sustainable or isn't going to get you to where you want to be in life. Do a reflection real quick. Look at yourself. Say, what I'm doing right now, is this bringing me closer to God? Is it bringing me closer to money? And am I going to get anything worthwhile out of this? If you answer no to any of those things, you're in the pre-process of refinement. You're not in the refining process. The refining process is basically you taking out all of the things that don't matter, all of the things that aren't going to give you a satisfactory life. Smoking, lust, what else? Pride, ego. A lot of these things, unforgiveness, a lot of these things are going to weigh you down. It's going to weigh you down, and you're going to be trying to find everything in the world to try to fulfill that void that you cannot fulfill because you aren't living the life of refinement. It's hard though. It is really hard because once you've done stuff like this constantly, consistently, it almost becomes like secondhand nature. Let me give you an example from me, because I just recently overcame this, and my process of refinement didn't start until last week. So let me outline it to you. We've been in college for about 8 weeks now, and those 8 weeks have been purely work, smoke. Find a nice girl on campus that maybe wants to talk to me and give me a massage. I don't know, something. But through that process, I found myself being very unfulfilled. You know what I'm saying? Although I wasn't necessarily looking for girls or actively trying to talk to girls, I was in a mindset of, hey, if I talk to a girl, I talk to a girl, or I want this girl, or if I want that girl, whatever. But it was not bringing me no value. And I realized that in about the 5th week. But I still kind of pursued the lustful intentions, which I have yet to act on. But I got myself out of that before I could act on that process. So in order to get to the next step of that, you have to, figure out how you can get back on track. Now that you've been living this life, or now that you've been in this life now of over comfortability, overindulgence in things that bring you no type of fulfillment, that's when you kind of look back, step back and be like, what am I doing? And how can I fix this? We all have goals in life. We all have dreams, right? But it's up to you and only you. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at your mom. Don't look at your, sorry. But you have to look at life through a lens of, how can I get to point A to point B? And is what I'm doing right now in my life going to get me to point B? Because right now I'm stuck at point A. I don't got no gas in my car. So now that you begin to acknowledge the things that you need to change, it's time for you to act on those things. And that is the hardest part. So what God would do, right? God will put you, God will leave you in that state of unfulfillment, and then make you realize that what you're doing is going to be unfulfilling, and then bring you to the steps of fulfillment, not to fulfillment, the steps of fulfillment. The process of refinement is hard because you don't want to leave the things that you've been indulging in for so long. When you're indulging or overindulging in something, you become to get comfortable. You become to get kind of stuck in your ways. If not stuck in your ways, you become to get very reliant on the things that you've been doing recently. And that's a bad thing because now you're relying on other substances to try to fulfill you when they can't fulfill you. Okay? So, I don't know if I had to restart, so I don't know if I said that already, but now that you've figured out that you need to change, you have to act on what you need to act on to get to your goals. And whatever your goals are, whether if it's starting a business or buying a new car or buying a new house, you have to act on the steps to get you to that point. And that's where refinement comes in, because God is not going to give you that without building you to be that person first. For example, I want a new car. I love my car right now, but it doesn't scream that boy shit, you know what I'm saying? It screams, here's a car, cool. I don't want that. I'm a very not flashy person, but I'm a person that likes a little bit of elegance in his life, you know what I'm saying? So in order for me to get my new car, I realized that I have to have a constant stream of income coming in. If I don't have a constant stream of income, how can I take care of a car, especially a new car at that? If I want to finance it, build my credit, it's a lot of things that go into it. And let's go back to last week where I was, not last week, but about 2-3 weeks ago, where I'm consistently living in sin. And my goal was still to get a new car. I had to look at my shit. I had to look at myself, and I said, would God give you this brand new Infiniti Q50 or Infiniti Q60? Would he give this to you when you're over here, I don't know, texting girls all the time and smoking? Like, he's not going to give that to you. It's not fair to him. Why would he bless you when you're out here doing things that don't deserve blessings? So now that you figured out step 2 is up to step 3, and step 3 is the hardest step, and that's acting on the process of getting to your goals. Now this is solely up to you, okay? I don't know your goals, I don't know what you want, but after you figured out that you needed to change, after you figured out and acted on, and realized what you wanted to act on for your goals, you have to stick true to the steps to get to your goals. That's my whole situation right now. And it's best if I talk about it, because the more I talk about it, the more I'm going to want to be enabled to, get there. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I recognize my problem. I said it 1,000 times by now. Smoking and lust, those are my 2 biggest things. I cut both of those out of my life. And my mind has become so much clearer, and I can see what the steps are. If not, I can see what I need to do to get to those those goals. And you have to stay consistent in the things that may not seem fun. Depending on your goals, it may not seem fun, but you have to learn to fall in love with the things that aren't bringing you quick satisfaction. You know what I'm saying? Or quick fulfillment. Because at the end of the day, everything here is temporary. Your life, my hair, everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. The car that I want is temporary. So for you to necessarily be able to be fulfilled and refined through this process, you have to stay consistent to do the things, stay consistent on doing the things that's going to bring you to point B. Now that you've chose to act on your goals, you have to begin to want the point B. Okay? You have to begin, and you already want the point B, but you're not going to get the point B as soon as you make the decision to change. That's not how it works. Oh my gosh, somebody is hotboxing in the dorms. I'm about to call security. Sorry, I'm not no snitch. But to get to point B, you have to do the things leading up to point B. If your goal is to build muscle, or if you're skinny, or if you're fat and you want to lose weight, your goal should be to get in the gym, eat correctly, stay in a calorie deficit, you know what I'm saying, increase your weight every week. But instead of that, what are you doing? You're eating potato chips on the couch. You're eating Chick-fil-A every day. You ain't been going to the gym. You want to be stuck in that process. So you have to make the right decisions to get you out of that circumstance that you're in. And it all boils down to this final thing. And this is the last thing I'm gonna leave y'all with. And I hope that y'all getting me, because I'm gonna recap everything at the end. Comfortability is stopping you from pursuing the life that you want. Point blank, period, okay? People get so comfortable in life because of the things that it has offered you so far. Whether it be weed, whether it be a good job, or I don't know, wherever you are. Life will give you the comfort, but it is up to you to get to where you want to be in life, okay? It's good to be grateful for the things you have, right? It's good to be grateful for a roof over your head, for the food that you eat, but there's always more growing that could come out of it, especially if it's a consistent thing that you aren't able to get yourself out of. That is the worst part. It's the worst part, because we as people are attached to comfortability. If we're stuck in a circumstance where it doesn't look like it's harmful to us, why would we want to exit out that situation? Seriously. If smoking makes me feel good every time I do it, and I get a confidence boost, or not even a confidence boost, a dopamine rush, what is stopping me from stopping? Hold up. And the answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing is stopping you from stopping doing the things that's getting you comfortable. But in the long run, and you not seeing no growth in yourself, they're gonna want to change. And that's just a simple fact about the human life. It's just a matter of acting on that change. So now that I just gave you the process of refinement, let's go through it, right? Step 1, realize that the life that you're living right now is unsustainable and you're not gonna get nowhere in it. Number 2, figure out how you can get to that goal. Figure out how you can get to that next step, right? Number 3 is choose to stay consistent in those steps to get you to point B, and do the things that are correct, right? And number 4, make the right decisions to get you to your goal, because consistency is the main thing. Well, God, of course, but consistency is the main thing that's going to get you to your goals. And finally, just don't be comfortable. Don't stay in a comfortable position, because you're going to stay in a comfortable position and you're going to become stagnant. And once you become stagnant, what did I say? I don't remember what I said, but once you become stagnant, you lose a lot of what makes you special. You lose a lot of the things that you used to fall in love with. And maybe I'm just venting right now, but that's kind of how I see it. I see it as a it could be better thing. So yeah, that was my video back. You gotta, in life, you can't stay stuck in the same things and the same patterns, no matter how comfortable that you feel that you're in. I mean, no matter how comfortable the circumstance or the situations look, you cannot stay comfortable in it, because you're gonna lose yourself in the process. If you're not doing anything to bring you to something greater in life, sorry, you won't be getting that Infiniti Q60 or that BMW M4 or that Lamborghini Urus. You're not gonna get none of the things that life can easily offer you if you just stay consistent enough on your goals. So that being said, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Peace.